Welcome back to Wolf TV's debate section. Right now we've got Jake and Arthur on today to debate a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about whether we think the Michigan Wolverines will be making the tournament this year. Flipped a coin backstage. Jake, you'll be going first today.
As we like. So a month ago, this would have been a preposterous question, right? Of course, Michigan's making the NCAA tournament. They're around number 4 in the country, been top 10. They have the best resume out of anyone. I mean, the current number 1 team in the country, Gonzaga, the only loss is a blowout to Michigan on a neutral court. And yet, if you look at the schedule, the last time that Michigan looked like a viable NCAA tournament lock was that game against Gonzaga. If you want to push back and forth at giving up 91 points at home to a conference team and 44-1 players out of a viable NCAA tournament team, you can try to make your case. But to me, Michigan has not had the look of an NCAA tournament team in a month plus. And if you look at the results last night, I don't think you can point to a game on the schedule that they're going to win without Isaiah Livers, which we don't know when he's coming back. And if you're not beating Penn State at home, what game are you winning on the schedule, Arthur? I'd like you to tell me that.
All right, well, I certainly will. And, yes, you can say that over the past couple of months, Michigan has had rather rough stretch without arguably their best player, Isaiah Livers. But if you're going to look at the Big Ten this year, you're looking at one of the deepest and strongest conferences in the country, and actually one of the strongest conferences that we've seen in a while in college basketball. And right now, the media narrative about the Big Ten is that there's about 11 teams really that can really win and actually make the NCAA tournament. There's actually a great article published by ESPN. I'm not sure if you read it. I did. And they were talking about just the depth of the Big Ten and how all these teams are fighting for a position right now, and it's really still anyone's conference. So I don't know. I mean, if you look at the remainder of the schedule, there's a lot of opportunities for Michigan to win big games and to really make a statement. If you look even at the Big Ten tournament, that thing is going to be sort of a crapshoot, and it's really going to be anyone's game. You saw what happened, 2017 and 2018 as well. And, really it's just going to come down to, this media narrative that's going on right now. And I think you can see Michigan winning a couple more really big games. And, that's, I think, going to show the selection committee understanding how deep this conference is. We could see potentially 9 teams from the Big Ten make the NCAA tournament. If you want to talk about Michigan, they're probably in the top 9 teams in the conference right now. So,
man, this guy just took up a whole freaking segment worth on that point. I'm glad you talked about how deep the Big Ten is, because Michigan is currently 4th to last in the Big Ten. And I don't know about you, but I don't see 10 teams from the Big Ten getting in. And again, you talked about the slow start. We talked about the slow start in conference play. Kofi Cockburn and Illinois are coming in this weekend. Now, I don't know if you've heard of a site called KenPom, but I surely haven't. I read it recently. After the road loss against Iowa, there was an 8-game stretch where Michigan was projected to win all 8 of those games. Now, if they were to win all 8 of those games, they would have been fresh into the NCAA tournament, nothing to worry about. However, after this abysmal loss to Penn State is a 4.5-point favorite at home in a game that could have been a lot worse than the final score indicated. Michigan is now projected to go 5-3 in those games, and we still don't know when Isaiah Livers is coming back. We have not won on the road. And if you're telling me, do you think Michigan is going to beat Kofi Cockburn and Illinois at home when they are the hottest team in the Big Ten right now, with 2 consecutive really impressive road wins, which we know how hard those are to come by in this conference? Michigan has 0 up to this point, might I remind you. Then I think that you are kind of crazy. And since you're crazier, you might even be crazier than showing up to this debate wearing that shirt, because I think we know who really wants to win based on the dress. But look, Michigan could very well still make the tournament. But to me, at this point, I'm looking at that schedule, looking at this roster, it's a roster devoid of confidence on all aspects. You have one guy in Xavier Simpson who can really initiate offense. We've seen him taking shots that are clearly out of his comfort zone, seeing him visibly frustrated.
Okay, Jake, I'm going to have to cut you off there before this gets too ugly. Took some digs at our clothing here. Not very nice, but I think I'm going to have to award Jake the win on this one for bringing out a little more fact and bringing a little more punch to his argument. Good work, Arthur, and once again, thank you for joining us at Wolf TV. We'll catch you next week.